This is What School Didn't Teach Me, a podcast meant to build community on all the things school doesn't prepare you for. Hi, I'm your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and class is in session. Hey, classmates, y'all already know what time it is. Class is in session. It's your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and welcome back to episode 4 of What School Didn't Teach Me. Now, I have a couple announcements before we get this episode started. Number 1, my recording schedule has been thrown all out of whack, y'all. Like, I had a schedule. I don't know if I'm supposed to expose, I don't know how much detail I'm supposed to expose about, the podcast behind the scenes before it's like, girl, this is unprofessional. But I had a schedule, and it got thrown off because, I'm studying for the LSAT, okay? Peep my sweater. I'm studying for the LSAT, and so my schedule got a little thrown off, which has been an adjustment. And I guess that's not announcements. I don't think any of these are announcements. I think these are just things that I want to share. But yeah, that's been an adjustment. So y'all pray for me, bear with me, because this schedule has got to get settled out. Because I'm committed to being consistent. Like, I don't want any more tardy slips. Last season's tardy slips, didn't like those. I mean, they were cute. They were cute to make, but no, that puts so much stress on me, and I want this to be a stress-free season. 2, y'all see my earring right here? I've had this earring for almost 6 years. That's insane. I got this earring when I was 15, turning 16, and this earring still be trying to close on me. If I don't wear earrings for a couple of days, the earring will try to close on me. If y'all have a remedy for that, I would really appreciate it, because this mug be trying to these earrings, I had to push them in. Also, I did so much prep time for this episode that it worried me. So I hope everything is perfect. I hope the lighting is perfect. I hope the quality is perfect. Yeah, because if I go back and rewatch it and I'm unsatisfied, I'll be a little disappointed. I'll be a little hurt. Yeah, so let's get into it. Today's episode is about trusting your intuition. And it's more so about relying more on internal validation than external validation. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to do this episode. I was supposed to do this episode last week, but we ended up doing a This Life Ain't Easy, but you'll be fine. Completely fine. But I didn't want to, even today, I was yeah, I can do, anything else. I just don't want to talk about this topic. And I'm why? Why am I so hesitant to talk about internal validation? And when I thought about it, it was because it's something that I struggled with growing up. This is probably more for me than anybody who's watching, honestly, because it's something that growing up I struggled with and had to, in the recent years, really come out of. And it's something that I'm finding balance in, being more reliant upon my own intuition and my own beliefs and what I like in me over what people could think, what people could say, what people have said, and other people's thoughts and opinions. That should have no impact. Let me correct myself. That should not be weighted more than what I think and what I want for myself, So yeah, I didn't want to do this episode because I want to make sure I feel confident in whatever the topic is. I want to make sure that I can be fluent and that I can be comfortable, confident. Yeah, I want to make sure that I can be comfortable in whatever we're talking about. And this topic is a lot more personal than some of our other topics, at least personal to me, because it connects to me so well. But I also think it's something that we really should be talking about. I've had this episode drafted for months. Not even joking. Had this episode drafted for months. I knew at some point I was going to have to do it because I had the idea. Why are you so scared now? Yeah, so I'm trying not to let the enemy attack me about this. So I'm sure everybody knows what an intuition is. It's that little voice that tells you, hey, this thing isn't right. Hey, we should go do this instead of doing that. Hey, I think you want this. And more often than not, your intuition is moving you in the right direction, in a positive direction. Like, it doesn't leave a lot of room for doubt or uncertainty, right? But I know that growing up, for me, I had this terrible fear of doing something wrong. Like, growing up, I used to hear, oh, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, but life happened, right? And I'm sure you've heard something like that, and it often comes out when we share our dreams with people. Like, when we share our dreams and ideas with older people, they be like, oh yeah, I used to want to go there, I used to want to do that, but life happened and here I am. Oh, that used to scar me. Oh, that scarred me. Like, I was so afraid that life was going to happen to me that I was very cautious about a lot of my decisions. And because I was just waiting for the day. Like, I knew at a young age that it only took one mistake to change your life. It takes one decision to change your whole life. So I was so scared that I was going to wake up and this was going to be the day. This was going to be the day that I was faced with the decision that was going to change my whole life. And I just wanted to make sure that if my life was changed, it was changed for the better. You know what I mean? So I wasn't always comfortable or confident in making my own decisions because I didn't want to make the wrong decision. And I had to think, like, where did that fear come from? Because when you look at little kids, they're running around free without a care in the world. They're free. Whether they're minding their own business or they're picking on other little kids, they are free without a care in the world. You know what I mean? And kids need to be guided in the right direction, in a direction that makes them confident in their actions, but also makes them considerate in their actions, right? And that can be like a thin line. And I know because, I was pushed over the confidence line and into the overly cautious line, right? So growing up, I was not comfortable doing a lot of things by myself. Like, I wasn't comfortable making certain decisions because I felt like all of my decisions were questioned. From the type of ice cream that I like, to the music that I listen to the clothes that I would buy on my own. Like, if I was doing it by myself, somebody always had something to say about it. And I did not like that feeling, y'all. Like, I didn't like it. So at some point, and whether it was adults around me, whether it was my mom, whether it was the peers around me, like, I felt like somebody always had something to say about something I did. And I didn't like that. It made me doubt it made me doubt my confidence. It made me doubt my ability to make the right decision. It made me doubt my ability to socially conform and be socially accepted. Like, it just made me feel isolated and alienated. And it made me feel like a lot of the things that I was doing was wrong. And that wasn't the case. I just was, and not to be like that, but like, my decisions were my own decisions. And I didn't always feel empowered to make my own decisions, right? So that ultimately led to a next decade of feeling uncomfortable to make my own decisions without external validation. Like, if somebody else didn't say that, my outfit was cute, or I did a great job doing this, or this was a good choice, down to like the food we're eating, I just felt unsure. I always wanted to be considerate of other people's opinions, other people's wants and needs, and, like, mindful of other people's decisions. Like, what I want may not be what other people want. And it caused me to make myself small to make room for other people. Y'all, it's so much to unpack. Like, it's so much to unpack about the value of internal validation, trusting your intuition, knowing that even though what you do, what you say, what you want may not be what the next person wants, that doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean it's bad. And ultimately, you should go with what you want. But let me not get ahead of myself. So we're talking about like 16-year-old Jasmine Camber, like uncomfortable to make her own decisions. Like when I go to the mall, I wasn't buying clothes if my mom wasn't there, because there were times that I would buy clothes and I would come home and the reaction just wasn't what I needed it to be confident in going out to the store and buying my own clothes. You know, like there were things that I didn't feel comfortable doing without hearing an okay from anybody else. And let me just tell you, that is not the way to live, babe. That's not the way to live. Mind you, at the same time that all of this is going on, I start to adopt this radical, I'm going to do what I want mental sense. Like certain things I was very anxious to do, very anxious to step out on. But then certain things, it was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. I want what I want. And it doesn't matter how anybody feels about this. I just want what I want. And this probably happened like 13, you know, the rebellious stages of life. Or the rebellious teen tween years, where people just want to be heard. People just want to be heard and understood. And I think that I was going through that same thing. Fast forward, you get to college. Oh wait, no, I want to share this story really quick that I meant to share in the beginning. Boom. Let me set the scene. I'm 15 in South Los Angeles, California, taking my driver's test. I do one better. It's February 2020. I'm 15, 16. I don't quite remember. Oh, I'm lying. I'm 17. I'm 17 in Los Angeles, California, taking my driver's test. I've had my permit for 2 years. Like, I got my permit when I was 15, took the test when I was 17, and all I wanted to do was get a car. All I wanted was a car. And my mom said, you can get a car when you get your license. Easy enough. I'm a great driver. Let me get this license. Like, take the test, get the license, boom. I take the test, and we get to, you know, back to the little parking lot, and the lady tells me, you failed. I'm like, what? Like, I what? Then she says, it seems like you're too used to people telling you what to do. Oh, y'all, I bawled my eyes out. Like, as soon as that lady got out the car, you know what? Thank you. Let that lady get out the car, walk around the corner. I bawled my eyes out. I think I bawled my eyes out so hard, I'm pretty sure my mom could hear me, like, from the curb. And while I was hurt that I failed the test, of course, like, who wants to fail? Who wants to fail? And then who wants to fail a driving test? Like, while I was hurt that I failed the test, what hurt me more was that she said, you're too used to people telling you what to do. Y'all, like, that hurt. It hurt because it proved something that I was trying so hard to fight. In the last episode, at the very end of the last episode, This Life Ain't Easy, but I mentioned that, you know, when I was younger, I was so scared to be dependent on other people. That's where that came from. Depending on other people for validation, depending on other people to give me a pat on the back, depending on other people to be proud of me. Yeah, and I didn't like that. And I worked so hard to fight against that. And to hear her say, like, yeah, you just used to people telling you what to do. It was like, now I'm mad. And so that started it wasn't a rebellious stage, but it started a passion or like a mental fight to get away from that identity or that stigma, because I wanted my identity to be my own. You know what I mean? I wanted my identity to be my own, and I wanted to be moving on my own time. Like, that's just really what it was. I wanted to move when I wanted to move. I wanted to feel confident enough to trust myself, to trust my intuition, and move whenever I wanted to move. So boom, fast forward, because that was 2020, so we know the world got shut down. Like, this was February, March, the world got shut down. And then in August of 2020, like, I went to college. So I'm going to college, and all I got is me. Like, all I have is me on campus. Of course, where I went to school, like, we had a group chat where we got to know people. So I had friends. It wasn't like I was alone, but it was like I was making my own decisions. And I'll be honest, my first semester, freshman year, it was hard for me to make my own decisions without consulting other people, like calling my mom and asking her what she thinks, asking my friends what they think about a decision I'm about to make, or an outfit that I'm going to wear, or just day-to-day stuff that I felt like I should be able to choose. And then at one point I noticed that there would be times where I really, really needed help, and my mom would not answer the phone. Not because, like, my mom is neglecting me. No, like, it was just a coincidence. She was busy. And I took those as signs. I took those as clean signs. Like, this is God. I really did. Like, God knew what I was praying for. And I was praying to be released from the shackles of external validation. Like, I just wanted to be free. I just wanted to be confident in myself. I just wanted to affirm myself. And I was making those steps, doing certain affirmations, listening to certain podcasts. But I wasn't there yet. So I still wanted advice, help. And I needed advice on, like, the smallest thing. Like, what kind of rice should I buy from the grocery store? Like, when I tell you this was bad, when I tell you I was crippled, I felt crippled. And so at some point, I would, like, call my mom if I needed something, and she wouldn't answer. I'm not saying it was like days would go by and my mom wasn't picking up the phone. No, like, this would be like one spur of the moment decision. Like, I need to figure out what I'm wearing to chapel tonight, and I have all these business clothes, and I want to make an outfit, and I don't know if what I have on is cute, so I'm gonna call my mom, see what she thinks. Or I'm trying to figure out if I should go to this party or hang out with these people, and my mom may not answer the phone, so I need to figure it out for myself. And I took those as signs, and I took those as opportunities to exercise growth. Like, I took that as, this is God making space for me to make my own decisions. And yeah, and in the beginning, it was really anxiety provoking. Like, it was like, okay, I'm wearing this outfit, and I think it's a little different from what I usually wear, but it's what I wanted. It's what I came up with. And a part of me is happy with this. So I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to wear this, and I'm going to feel as confident as I can. Y'all, it didn't happen overnight, but time and time again, trial after trial, unanswered phone call after unanswered phone call. Like, now I'm in a space where I'm confident. Even if what I like is not what everybody else likes. Even if what I eat is not what everybody else eats. Even if what I decide is not what everybody else would think, or if people question my decision, it was my decision. It was what I wanted. It was what I wanted to do. And I keep it pushing. And that took years. Like, that took 2 consistent years of choosing me. Like, choosing me. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing. Whatever my intuition tells me to do, whatever I am called to do, whatever I am led to do that day, I'm going to do it. Yeah. But enough about me. I wanted to do all that and say all that to kind of give y'all, I guess, backstory into why this is so, or why this conversation was a little more difficult and why I didn't want to do this episode. Yeah. So to anybody struggling to make their own decisions, to do things on their own, like, I know people and I have friends who can't do a darn thing if, one, nobody goes with them, or two, like, nobody approves what they say. And I see myself in those people, and I don't want it to be in a projection sort of way, but I see it as like, I was like that. I couldn't go left or right without thinking that no matter what I chose, it would be wrong. If I went left, left was automatically wrong. If I went right, right was automatically wrong. And for years, I would tell people, like, yeah, you know, or at least for my college years, I would tell people, like, me and my intuition, we're working on our relationship. Like, we're mending our relationship. I ignored her for so long because my intuition was speaking. My intuition was speaking about people. My intuition was speaking about things, like, and I was ignoring her for other people's opinions, for other people's wants, for other people's needs. So I ended up needing other people to be my intuition. Does that make sense? I feel like that was a word. Like, you got to use what you have. You have to trust your intuition, because your intuition will stop talking. You ignore her for too long. Her, him, I don't know who your intuition is, but mine's a her. You ignore her for too long, she will disappear. Like, she'll be there, but she'll be quiet because you've silenced her. You've ignored her. So now she's not going to speak. And if she speaks, it'll be quietly. Not because the intuition is quiet, but because you have valued external validation above your intuition. You have put other people's wants, needs, opinions over your own. And now you need other people to validate your opinion, validate your wants and needs, when really you should be the one to do that. And it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to, when everybody's going left, you going right because you want to go right. Not because I'm going right because everybody's going left and I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. No. I want to go, what did I say? I want to go left. Everybody's going right. And I think left is the best way for me. Something is calling me to left. Like, and it starts off with smaller portions. If you are struggling with your intuition, if you feel like your intuition is not talking back to you, if you feel like you just need guidance and clarity, start with something small. Start with something small, like choosing your lunch today. If you feel like you need to call somebody, or if you feel like you need to ask somebody what you need to eat, if you need a sandwich or a burrito, you need to go with what you really want. Because I guarantee you, you want one of those things more than the other. And you just want to hear what everybody else has to say. Like, no. Go get your sandwich. Go get your burrito. And move. Like, and watch how the world doesn't end because you made your own decision. Watch how the walls don't crumble down and the floor doesn't open up because you made a decision. Like, take that moment and feel proud. And as you make those small decisions, make larger decisions. Like, you know, they say on this color spectrum that blue and green don't go together in an outfit. I don't know. I'm just throwing something together. You know, blue and green don't usually look cute with an outfit together, but something about this I like. I'm feeling it. I'm going to do it. Like, I remember breaking it down to my mom, and I was like, man, what I realized is some people's outfits, some things people do, like, they're not normal. They're not the trend. But they look good because a person is wearing it with confidence. Their decision may not have been the universal decision, but they're doing what they're doing with confidence. So it works. Like, step out on you. Step out, make a faith step towards you and your confidence. And yeah, and watch your confidence increase. Watch how your intuition builds off of that momentum. And I'm not saying go out into the world and be impulsive. I'm not saying, not everybody will spend $100 on food, but today, because I want to, I'm finna spend $100. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't go out and like blow all your money and all your resources away. No. I'm just saying, don't be scared to empower yourself. Don't be scared to make your own decisions, because I promise you, it's not the end of the world. And even if somebody gets mad at you for making your own decision, it says more about them than it does about you. Yeah. Like, make wise decisions. Make wise decisions. Have wise counsel. Like, I'm not telling you to never consult with anybody about anything. Make your own decisions. Don't tell nobody nothing. Move in silence. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Find the balance. Find the balance. But that's yours to find. You know what I mean? Like, have counsel, but have wise counsel. Don't just let anybody into your ear, especially when you are working to make your own decisions. Wise counsel is still important. It's okay to still need affirmation on certain subjects. It's okay to still need people. This is in no way me trying to tell you how to get to a point in your life where you don't need people and you don't need community and you don't need friends. No. I'm just saying that as a person who struggled with making her own decisions because she was scared that everything that she did was wrong, if it was her own decision, you know what I mean? I'm just speaking from my point of view. I'm speaking from my point of view and pouring into anybody who feels like they struggle with the same thing. If you have trouble with your intuition, if you have trouble making your own decisions, you're not alone, and it doesn't have to be this way. Like, if you're listening to this and you didn't even realize, like, I do ask everybody about everything. I do need a friend to affirm me in everything I do. That's okay. That's okay. But it'd be smart to learn how to affirm yourself. It'd be best to make the steps towards independence. Not hyper independence. You still need community. You still need people. But trust your intuition. Like, when your intuition is speaking about another person, about a relationship that you're in, about friends, about the food you want to eat, the clothes you want to wear, whether or not to go to this party, trust your intuition. And if you don't, like, I ended up being in a lot of situations I didn't want to be in because I trusted other people and not my intuition. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to trust yourself. And once you trust yourself, the confidence will follow. The confidence will follow. And it's a natural process. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. I'm asking you to step out of your comfort zone. But it becomes natural. Now I'm finding the balance between listening to wise counsel and doing what I want to do. I'll be honest, I'm finding that balance. But the first step was to learn how to trust myself, to learn how to trust my own intuition, to learn how to listen to her when she spoke and notice that it's me. And just because it's me doesn't mean it's wrong. And just because it's what I want doesn't mean it's wrong. No. No. Trust your intuition. Make those small steps and watch that confidence follow. Because we deserve to trust ourselves. Like, you deserve it. Bottom line, point blank, period. Like, you deserve it. You deserve a better life. A better, more confident, more comfortable life. Where you don't feel like everything that you do is wrong. Where you don't feel like you need 3, 4, 5, 6 other opinions before you go with the one you want to do anyway. Like, no. You don't need too many people to agree with you to know what you want, to validate what you want. You should be able to validate yourself. And it takes time and it takes progress. But start with little steps and watch those little steps turn into big steps, and watch those smaller decisions turn into bigger decisions, and watch how you lean on yourself more. That's what you deserve, to be able to trust and to lean on yourself. That's all I got. Yeah. Thank you for joining the classroom. I can't wait to see you next week. Next week's episode, I feel like might be like a little bit of a free-for-all, because I realized that I put so much structure in each episode that I don't leave a lot of time for like humanity. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what next episode is all about. But that's all I got. I hope you got what you needed. Give me some feedback. I want to know. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear how y'all feel about your intuition, what your relationship with your intuition is like. Do some self-reflection. Do some journaling. Like, take some time to really reflect on your confidence in yourself and see what work needs to be done. If there's work that needs to be done. If you're in a happy place right now, amen. But if there's work that needs to be done, see what you can do to strengthen that intuition. What small decisions can you make? What thing in your life have you been teetering back and forth about? Ask yourself those questions. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I love y'all. And I'll see you next week.